Previously on Dirt Nights.
What the Ladies and gentlemen, the Wizard of Watertown, John Tash!
We're out in the fuel pump belt, so we're done. Not good enough. Forget stuff. And John Tash reports to the field.
Here we go, Marshalltown, Iowa, it is showtime! Here comes the Reaper on the outside. And 70 action side by Sandation.
The life of a touring dirt track racer is not for the faint of heart or the weak-willed. There's no time for being tired, no sick days for a few bumps and bruises, no excuses for a bad decision, and a tough day at the office can take on a whole new meaning. A driver is never allowed to forget that the dirt doesn't forgive. The reminders come day after day after day. The hunt for a United States Modified Touring Series National Championship is over halfway complete, and the wear and tear of the road is starting to show on the Dirt Nights.
No yelling, Al. It's too early.
That was a question. Was I yelling?
You can still yell in the form of a question. What are you doing over here, Gressel?
Nothing.
Huh? What kind of trickery are we doing? What? Damn you!
I gotta finish it. So, if Ryan gets up on the back end of you, he'll know it's you.
Right.
And don't touch him.
Think I can get away with getting one right on their pit cart?
Yes.
Well, you're going to need to have a lookout.
Things might be getting a little goofy around the pits, but tonight won't be the night to take it easy. The Knights have invaded the small southern Minnesota town of Casson, home of Dodge County Speedway. This 3/8 mile speed factory is always fast and usually very racy. And tonight it will work overtime as part of a rare modified double feature. The US MTS was here in July but got rained out. So tonight, in addition to the hunt race, the guys will make up the July feature race.
It'll be a long night tonight. Hopefully just try and survive, I guess, throughout the whole night. That'll be the biggest thing.
The fastest crew on tour right now is the 14 team out of Watertown, South Dakota. John Tash has won 2 of the last 3 features. And if not for an innocent-looking bump last night at Deer Creek Speedway, he could very well be working on 3 straight.
This isn't going to mess us up any here. We just got to replace some of these bent parts. We got them all laying right here. And the car will be right back to where it was. So, whatever started.
In the Gressel camp, there is a noticeable sense of urgency. The magic of the first half of the season is gone, and the hunt has become a nightly struggle to reclaim the speed that had the Reaper in victory lane 14 times this season. In the standings, Ryan Gustin trails Jason Hughes by just over 90 points. So the time to get the 19R back in shape is right now.
That'll get any better? 5.25. 1.8 on cap. We set it on the scales after we did cast the camera and everything. The thing was right at 125 pounds of bite. So it was definitely off, I'm sure.
Was that 99? Was that where he was he sucking me up on the straightaway pretty good?
Al Haina has been on a racing roller coaster this week. He looked better than ever with a top 10 finish in Lansing, Minnesota 2 nights ago, but then failed to qualify for the feature again last night.
Well, I just told him I was quitting.
As is so often the case, the emotions of a tough race night can boil over. But here in the light of another day, the two longtime friends that make up Team Haina are side by side trying to get the 7-car ready.
I'll do it.
Al gets the first shot at Dodge County Speedway tonight. He rolls the 7-car out in Heat 1, where he starts in the back of the pack. In a sure sign of a rough track, the Heat 1 finish is almost identical to the starting order. Nobody, including Al Haina, was able to get around anybody else.
Do they know how good a racing they could have if these promoters had a clue, not one damn clue, on how to prepare a racetrack? Oh, we're gonna have a lot of cars. We better have a lot of water. Let's make a piece of Another fine racetrack on the USNCS Tour.
This segment brought to you by Eibach Springs. Proven on the track, perfected for the street.
That's just ridiculous. That ain't even racing.
The early returns on Dodge County Speedway in Casson, Minnesota tonight are less than positive.
You get a run on somebody and all of a sudden he's sideways in front of you, and it's stupid to even try to go up there and pass anybody for 5th or 6th, because all you're doing is just wrecking everything.
Al Haina is headed for another B main after a 7th place run in Heat 1. Corey Drips is up next and made an adjustment to try and compensate for the rough track.
We've been running the car on a right front bump stop. Any place that's got a cushion or some traction to it, or even rough, the car chattering on the right front too hard. We just went back to a conventional spring. That bump stop stuff's really good when the track's black and slick, but we just haven't been on very many black, slick racetracks lately.
The 31 lines up with fellow knight Derek Ramirez in Heat 2.
Brian Staley throws the green flag. We're back underway with heat number 2. Jason Cummins with the charge. Look at Corey Drips on the move as well in the 31 as they go into turn number 3. Chase Youngins winging it around the top side of the 18. Johnny Scott, Kurt Myers, your leader. Johnny Scott still your leader as they head down the back straightaway. Ramirez now up to the 4th spot in that 4R car. White flag, we've got 1 lap to go. Cummins taking a look to the outside of Myers as they go down to turn number 1. Down the back straightaway, Johnny Scott in the 1st car leads the pack as they go into turn number 3. Keep an eye on that battle for 2nd. Cummins on the outside as they come out of 4. It's going to be Johnny Scott, Jason Cummins, Kurt Myers, Derek Ramirez, and Corey Drips in the top 5.
A solid run for Ramirez from 8th to 4th, but the 31 car couldn't make up any ground.
This is the time of year when these racetracks should be black and shiny and slick and smooth. And we've got a car that's really good in that stuff. And when the tracks are like this, when they're tearing apart, when they're rough, we're really struggling to get the setup for it.
John Tesh spent the afternoon trying to get the 14 back into shape. He'll find out if it's good to go in Heat 4.
Green flags in the air, heat number 4 by Eibach Springs. Down the backstretch they go. Cronin, Dondlinger 1 and 2. They're going to stick it in 3 wide. Sorensen, Albertson, Tim. Tesh going to try to make it 4 wide on the outside. Tesh bounces off the concrete. He's going to drop to the tail. Jason Crone, your leader. Dondlinger 2nd. Sorensen up to the 3rd spot now, with Tim and Alberts battling for the 4th position. Ron Verbeek up into the 6th spot in the R. Sorensen to the outside of Dondlinger, going to steal the 2nd spot out of corner number 2. Tesh up into the top 5. Once again in that 14 car, it is Crone up front. Down the back straightaway, Tesh now to the 4th spot. Sorensen closing in on Crone. We've got 1 lap to go here in heat race number 4. Tesh closing in on the 3D of Dondlinger as they get on to turn number 1. John Tesh on the outside. Now going to try to wrestle that third spot away from Dowdlinger as he looks to the outside. Leaders coming out of corner number 4 as they come down the front straightaway. It is going to be Jason Crone. Mike Sorensen, Dowdlinger will nip Tesh at the line, and Bob Tim will round out the top 5.
Tried driving it in the top with marbles and crumbs, and I split up and scrubbed the wall a little bit and knocked my front end out of whack a little bit, but nothing too serious, I guess.
Which way this motor's turning, like the same thing, it's pushing it. We're going to have to run it for the heat. I'll go see if I can.
It's a struggle so far for the Dirt Knights, and it's no different in the Spalding camp.
Fan blade straightened out. Actually got the wrong curvature to it, so we're not cooling properly. We don't have time now to change it, so I'm just going to watch the water temp out there while we run and tuck in, and boys will have to change it. It'll be hotter than hell. That's all we can do right now.
He may not be ready to go, but it's time to drop the flag as Spalding joins Ryan Gustin in the final heat of the night.
Here we go, green flags out, final heat race here tonight. Down the back straightaway, Dale in the 02, the 99 is Josh Hanks, Ben Maddock, and here comes Ryan Gustin in the 19.
But the race lasts less than 2 laps for the 17S.
Caution coming out as we got the 17 of Mike Spalding, who was stalled up here on the outside of turn number 1 and bringing out the caution flag.
Hey, slow down, bud. Don't wreck. The petcock wasn't tight? Is that where the water's coming out?
Yes.
That's what that was before, guys. Bad mistake. Bad.
It's been a nightmare night so far for the Dirt Knights teams in Casson, Minnesota, and frustrations are sky high in the pits.
If anything, I'm just a little disappointed in my driving right now.
I don't understand why we're so good and they're just absolute shiny black and we can't get around the easy stuff. You know, the moisture. We should be flying around this crap.
Unfortunately, there's small mistakes like that are made.
Yes.
Problem is, it costs us money.
Everyone but Derek Ramirez has to go through a B to get to the feature tonight. And it begins with John Tesh, who starts on the outside of the front row in B main number 1.
Green flags out, here we go. Dowdlinger and Tesh. Tesh on the outside as they head down the back stretch into turn number 3. Dowdlinger on the inside, Tesh on the outside as they come on at quarter number 4. They are side by side up front. John Tesh with the lead as they cross the stripe. Down the back straightaway, Lucas Schott and Doug Hilson side by side. Now John Tesh going for a spin in the 14. Caution coming out on the racetrack. Your race leader, John Tesh, losing the handle up in turn number 4, and the caution flag comes out.
A rare mistake from the Wizard of Watertown. He's all alone out in front and simply turns it around. A shot at the feature just became a whole lot tougher as he has to go to the back of the field.
Here we go. Green flag is out. We're back underway. B main number 1. Nate Caruth going to wing it around the top side of the speedway as they head down the back straightaway. Joel Alberts in the 4A trying to crack the 6th spot as they head on at corner number 4. Down the back stretch, it's Dowdlinger, Noble, Caruth, Wilson, Tim, and now Joel Alberts with a slight advantage for the 6th spot.
The 14 car is scary fast, and with 4 laps left, Tesh is back up challenging for the lead.
So Some wild action going on up front. Noble and Donlinger exchanging paint as they slid down through the infield. Nobody stopped. The green stayed out. And now Donlinger going to come up and have a few words with Mr. Noble in turn number 1. So things heating up a little bit. Here we go on a corner number 4. Green flags back out. We are underway with this one once again. Doug Hilson and Mark Noble battling. Paulson on the inside. Shot now up there in the mix as well. Trying to get back into the show. Shot now to the outside of Noble as they come on a 4. Noble to the inside of Hilson. It's Caruth and Tesh. Down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, John Tesh now taking the lead as they come on to corner number 4. Caruth in that second spot. Sanders in third, Hilson, Shot, and Noble. Donlinger trying to work his way back up. We've got the white flag, 1 to go here in B main number 1. John Tesh leading the field down the back straightaway to turn number 3. Checkered flag coming out. He goes from the tank back to the front. John Tesh, winner of B main number 1.
An incredible run for the Wizard. From the front to the back to the front in just 15 laps.
I got up and loose stuff up near the wall and got sideways and spun the car out. And we had to go to the back. We recovered and won the thing anyways, but I guess if anything, my pride's a little hurt. The car's pretty decent.
While Tesh preps for the feature, 4 other knights will try to join him as Ryan Gustin, Corey Drips, Al Haina, and Mike Spalding battle for the top 6 cut in B main number 2.
Gustin getting a great run off the outside of corner number 2. On the outside of Maddock as they wheel into turn number 3. Maddock on the bottom, Gustin upstairs as they come down the front straightaway, side by side once again. Ryan Gustin back around the outside of turn number 2. Drips up to the 4th spot. Ryan York in 5th. And now Al Haina in the 7 car, challenging the 33C Zach Vanderbeek for the final transfer spot. White flag coming out. Ryan Gustin is your leader. 1 lap to go. Tommy Meyer now second. The battle for 3rd. Vanderbeek on the low side, trying to get by the 4 Maddock. He will do so here on the final lap. Takes over the 3rd spot. Checkered flag in the air as they come on at corner number 4. It is Ryan Gustin, winner of B main number 2. Tommy Meyer in 2nd. Vanderbeek in 3rd with Maddock, Drips, and Al Haina, your top 6 cars.
The Reaper rolls to an easy win, with Drips and Haina just making the cut. But for Mike Spalding, the night is over.
Car just wasn't good at all. No side, no forward, no nothing. So at least we're in. We're going to make a couple changes and try to get $1 off the 31 car. He starts right ahead of me, so we're going to do our best to pass him. We'll see.
With double features on tap, the guys won't have much time to prepare. But the Dodge County Speedway is coming around, so things could get awfully interesting in Casson, Minnesota.
What do you think, Sponge? Are we ready to rock?
The dirt fans of Casson, Minnesota are in for a rare double feature tonight at Dodge County Speedway. The regularly scheduled hunt feature is up first. Then, after a short break, the cars will return to make up a rained-out feature from July.
Made a few adjustments to the car here, and hopefully the track cleans off a little bit more and we're able to race a couple lanes instead of a lane and a half is about all it's been all night. But
Five of 6 Dirt Knights drivers are on the track, but they will all start from the middle of the pack to the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime in Casson, Minnesota. Green flag is out. Here we go. Sorensen, look at Wettstein on the outside as they head down the back straightaway. The initial time into turn number 3. Johnny Scott, Mike Sorensen side by side as they come at you. At a 4, they make contact. Johnny Scott to the point. 3 abreast for the second spot as they go down into turn number 1. Cummins, Wettstein, and Sorensen. Sorensen on the top side as they head down the back straightaway. Scott and Sorensen side by side as they come down the front stretch. Into turn number 1 they go. Johnny Scott up front in the first car. Sorensen around the outside trying to take over the lead. Top 4 cars running tight. Side by side battle up front as they come down the front straightaway. 2 by 2 as they come down into turn number 1. Caution coming out on the speedway. Doug Hilson slowing on the racetrack, bringing out the yellow flag. 33 laps scored complete of the 40-lap main event. Steve Wettstein up front. John Tesh in the 14. He has come from the 15th starting slot up to second. Anything can happen. We've got 7 to go. Steve Wettstein going to bring the field to the green this time around. Here we go. Wettstein on the bottom, Tesh on the top side as they come down the front straightaway. Battle up front. Krohn's now worked his way into the 3rd spot. Jason Cummins and Johnny Scott side by side for 4th. Here comes John Tesh. Johnny T flying on the top as they go into turn number 3. Wettstein on the bottom, Tesh on the top side. Here they come on a corner number 4 down the front stretch into turn number 1. Tesh down on the top side as they go on a corner number 2. John Tesh, Steve Wettstein side by side as they go into turn number 3. Wettstein on the bottom, Tesh on the top. Here we come down the front straightaway. John Tesh now your leader. Down the back straightaway. Tesh edges out front, but Wettstein right there with them. You can see Ryan Staley grabbing the white flag. We've got 1 lap to go this time by. It's a 1-lap shootout for the $3,000 as they go down into turn number 1. Down the back straightaway, Tesh with the run off the outside of corner number 2. Checkered flags getting ready to come out as they come down the front straightaway. It's going to be John Tesh, Steve Wettstein, Jason Krohn, Johnny Scott, and Zach Vanderbeek.
If there was any doubt about the strength of the 14 car, it's gone after this run tonight. Against the best drivers in the game, John Tesh runs from 15th all the way to his 3rd checkered flag in the last 4 nights.
Thank you, buddy.
Started 15th, you must be hauling.
It was good. I was on the bottom, I was on the top.
Yeah.
It was good.
You got her going, man.
Thank you.
There's no time to celebrate when there's another $2,000 check on the line in the makeup feature, which, after 20 laps, turns into a battle royale between the Reaper, Ryan Gustin, and the 90 car of Steve Wettstein.
Steve Wettstein using the low side of the speedway. He leads it. But Ryan Gustin gathering that 19 car up on the top side of the speedway. Closing in on the 90 as they come down the front straightaway. Gustin's got the 19 cranked up. Keep an eye on him as they go down the backstretch into turn number 3. Wetstein using the bottom. Gustin right down the middle as they come out of corner number 4. Ryan Gustin to the top side of turns 1 and 2. Keep an eye on the Reaper. He's going to go to the outside of Wetstein down the back straightaway. Here we go. We're going to go at it once again. Race fans, white flag, 1 to go. Here comes Gustin on the outside. Wetstein and Gustin as they go down into number 1. Gustin going to wing around the top as they go out of corner number 2. Down the backstretch. They're door to door, side by side into turn number 3. Here we go. Out of corner number 4. Down to the checker flag they come. It's going to be Gustin. Wetstein in second. Shot, Crone, and Tesh. Wow!
A nearly flawless run for the Reaper in his 15th feature win of the season.
Good job. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was fun.
Got him
Man.
on the last. Huh?
That was fun, wasn't it?
Like your dad told me the last time you raced here, he goes, "This has been a bad racetrack."
It's been real
So
bad.
you shook it off now.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
A wild night in Casson, Minnesota comes to a close with a pair of trophies in the Dirt Knights pits. John Tesh firmly establishes his position as the hottest driver on dirt right now with a 3rd win in 4 nights. And Ryan Gustin closes the gap with Jason Hughes to 85 points in the hunt for a national championship. And finally gets back to victory lane in a non-hunt makeup race.
It's a huge confidence boost, you know. Get past like that, yellow, and then go back green again and drive back by. That really makes the guy feel good right there. But we had a good car all week, and got some confidence to come back this morning.
For a touring dirt track racer, opportunities to win real money are few and far between. So when they come along, nobody can afford to pass it up. That's why the path to a U.S. MTS National Championship is taking a short detour tonight. Back to Fountain City, Wisconsin, and Mississippi Thunder Speedway for the annual RE/MAX USRA Modified Nationals and a $12,000 top prize.
Big purse on the line, you know. Got a pretty good race car.
One of the favorites coming into this event has to be the 14 car and John Tesh. He's a wheelman on a roll after winning 3 of the last 4 hunt races. And tonight, he's got a chance to turn that speed into a big payday.
We're usually racing for 2,000 to 3,000 on the series, so it's a big paying show.
You draw? No. You better go draw.
No one could use a change of luck any more than Corey Drips. Nearly every night, the story is the same for the 31. A bad draw or a wreck in the heats, and a back-of-the-pack start in the feature. Tonight, the luck of the draw is in his corner. He'll start on the pole in his heat, so the bad luck is going to have to come from somewhere else. And, of course, it does.
Let's just replace them.
There are few things more complicated and more precise than a high-performance race car. And a problem with even the smallest piece of the puzzle can make the whole thing fall apart. Precision is the key, and nowhere is that more important than under the hood.
My passion with racing as an engine builder, it's something we build from ground up here. We know when we send this engine out the door, especially the USMTS guys, these engines are going to put to the test. We're putting the engine on the dyno. All our new engines, we always put them on here and test them. Make sure the performance right. We know what we got before we hand it to the customer. This is one of our open motors. It's a cylinder head that we've developed here. This cubic inch and stuff should make around 720, 725 horsepower. We've got quite a few of these motors out there, so we've been able to dyno quite a few and get a good read on what they're doing. So we'll go ahead and make a pull and see what it does. All right, so here's the pole. Right here's our torque. It's coming up. It's going to make 641 foot-pounds of torque. Here's our horsepower. Right at 720 horsepower. That's pretty good first pole. We use the same carburetor to do all our tests with at first, and then we'll put the customer's carburetor on to get it all tuned in. But performance-wise, it's good, so we should be in good shape. When I have a customer that has an engine problem, and if it's something that's done on our end, we want that engine back. We want to see what happened, what went wrong. How can we prevent this from happening again? And we really take it personally, we really do.
Back in Fountain City, Wisconsin, the 7 team is a man down tonight. Crew Chief Gus Gustafson couldn't make the race, so Al brought in the big gun.
I said, this is hard life.
His father and racing mentor, Jerry Hayna.
Oh, they're still wrapped up, Jesus.
The cooking show there, Emerald?
Well, two of them fell down. They were still wrapped up in the cellophane.
Oh.
And he had me on camera.
At 72, Jerry certainly knows his way around a race car, and Al could use a little motivation after a difficult season.
He was had quite a reputation in his day. So everywhere I went when I was a little kid, they'd hear my name and say, Jerry Hayna's boy? Yep, I'm Jerry Hayna's boy.
Hayna and Ryan Gustin will start the Dirt Nights Dash for the cash in Heat 3. With 62 cars looking for a $12,000 payday, the heats are packed with 10 cars each.
Gustin has gone up front.
Folks, this is what we've been looking forward to with the USRA Modified Nationals. These guys ripping it up out there for every position they can.
Gustin with a straightaway advantage over the 4D and Dollinger with Hilson, Wetstein, and Hayna in the top 5.
Here's your leader across the start-finish line, Ryan Gustin, as we cross the 6th lap mark.
Wetstein now challenging the 72 of Hilson for that 3rd spot. Looking to the inside groove in turns 1 and 2 as Hilson gets a good run off the outside.
Here comes your leader through 3 and 4. He's got the number 9 to contend with. White flag is out. One more lap to go for Ryan Gustin.
Gustin blasts off down into turn number 1. The battle now for 3rd. Wetstein has it as they go into turn number 1.
Wetstein up to 3rd. Dotlinger still 2nd. Hilson back to 4th. Hilson thou's going to battle back underneath Wetstein down the back straightaway.
Out of corner number 4, it is all Ryan Gustin in this one as he picks up the win.
Just a few weeks back, the Reaper lapped nearly half the field in winning the US MTS race here. And it looks like the 19R still has things dialed in on Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Things aren't quite as rosy in the Hayna camp.
Been too tight all day. Now I go out there and I had no forward bite. I freed the car up and I get out there and I had nothing. Go from 3rd to 5th. I don't even know what I'm doing here anymore.
Back on the track, the 17S of Mike Spalding has a big shot at the first checkered flag of his comeback. But even though he starts on the pole in Heat 4, he'll have to hold off 2 of the biggest names in the game. 9-time national champion Kelly Shryock and current Hunt Points leader Jason Hughes. $12,000 awaits the winner of tonight's RE/MAX USRA Nationals in Fountain City, Wisconsin. And there isn't a driver in the field that could use that check more than Mike Spalding. His night is off to a good start. Heat 4 is on the track, and for the first time this season, Spalding is all alone in front.
Out front is the 17 of Mike Spalding. Kelly Shryock running 2nd.
dominating heat win for the 17S over some of the best cars in the country, including Kelly Shryock and Jason Hughes. On the big money night when he needed it most, Spalding will be in the redraw for the $12,000 show.
Well, that felt good. Finally. Good job, Carter. Excited. We're in the A main. What I wanted to do is 13,000 to win. So now if we just get a decent draw and start up front, I think a big cock chest is going to be a good car tonight.
The Knights are on a roll in Fountain City. The hard luck kid, Corey Drips, will try to keep it rolling in Heat 5.
There's your green flag. We are racing.
Here we go. So field blasts off down into turn number 1. Corey Drips up front.
How about Brian Albrecht? A nice start for the 67 as we almost had him full wide on a turn number 2.
Tripp's gonna lead it. Here comes Lucas Schott. Look at that battle behind them. Hang on as they come out of turn 4.
3 wide, bumping and grinding all the way through the 4th turn and down the front straightaway. Anybody's position up for grabs right now.
Myers now cleared the 85 of Dotson. He looks to the outside of Mike Sorensen now trying to move into the top 5. Here we go, Dan. 1 lap to go.
One final trip around the big 3rd mile here at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Payne's got 2nd, Weeder Jr. 3rd, Lucas Schott in 4th, Sorensen, then the big speed bullet Tommy Meyer in the 65.
Tommy Weeder Jr. wheels around the outside of Jeremy Payne, steals the 2nd spot. Checkered flag coming out. It's going to be Corey Drips.
The 31 starts on the pole and checks out. He'll start towards the front of the feature. The last guy left to qualify is the most relaxed guy in the pits. 3 wins and 4 nights will do that for you. The Wizard of Watertown starts his run for the big money in Heat 6.
There's your green flag. We are racing.
Say crank it up back down into turn number 1. Tesh gonna try to wheel back around the outside of Johnny Scott. Retake that 2nd spot. Here comes Josh Angston, the 99.
Les Dolman, the Zero Hero, looking racy in the 4th place position. That Zero Machine about to be challenged by Andy Bonestangler, the 25, and Josh Angston, the 99.
Noble continues to lead and pull away a bit as they get on to turn number 1. Battle setting up for 4th through 6 as they go out of corner number 2.
Olsen, who was running high and hard earlier, is kind of struggling at the back of the pack as he's trying to work his way towards the top 5 again.
Josh Angston, the 99, trying to work his way around the 25. Andy Bonestangler as they go down to turn number 1 side by side for the 5th spot.
Well, that's been a great battle to watch. Almost a 3-car battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Dolman has been consistently out in front of him, but Josh Hanks finally takes the position away as the white flag flies.
White flag for Mark Noble. 1 lap to go with John Jess and Johnny Scott following him down into turns number 1 and 2. Noble checking out here in the late stages.
Single file all the way through the field. Fast down the back straightaway. Tesh taps the back straightaway wall. Keeps it straight though. Noble's going to take another checkered flag with a heat win.
A 2nd place finish puts Tesh in the show. And the stage is set for 30 of the best dirt modifieds in the country to lay it on the line for the USRA Nationals title and a $12,000 check.
This segment brought to you by Eibach Springs. Proven on the track, perfected for the street.
There's a little more intensity in the pits tonight in Fountain City, Wisconsin. With $12,000 on the line, everything gets double and triple checked. Nobody is more fired up than Mike Spalding, who won his heat and is the fastest he's been since his return to racing a month ago.
I wanted to get into that main. That $800 is going to cover our fuel and tires for this week. It feels real good to start getting this car and my driving style to where I want it to be. Everything's starting to go smooth, and I like that because lately things have not been so smooth. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
With so much on the line, they've pulled out all the stops on Mississippi Thunder Speedway. The track is close to perfect, but with 30 cars in the field, starting position is still key. The Dirt Knights drivers are in great position with 3 cars in the top 8, led by the 17S will start 3rd. John Tesh and Derek Ramirez start in the middle of the pack, with Al Haina bringing up the rear in 26th. And they'll run things a little differently tonight. This is a long 50-lap race, and officials have built in a mandatory red flag stop on lap 25, so the teams can make adjustments and add fuel.
the first annual USRA Modified Nationals presented by Remax. There's your green flag. We are racing.
3 wide down into turn number 1 as your front row hits it. Sanders and Mike Spaulding side by side.
Sanders led him into turn number 1, but the 17 of Spaulding takes the lead down the back straightaway and into turn number 3.
Sanders dives to the 20 to the inside as they come down the front straightaway. Mike Spaulding leads lap 1.
Spaulding takes the lead into turn number 1. Sanders continues to run at the bottom in the number 20 machine.
Terry Phillips now cracks the top 5 in that 75 car.
Oh, trouble coming out of turn number 2. Kelly Shryack involved in that. Corey Drips, also Hilston in the 72.
If the 31 didn't have bad luck, well, you know the rest. A lap and a half into the biggest money race of the year, and Corey Drips is out.
Mike Spaulding setting the pace in the 17. Here they come out of turn number 4. There's your green flag. We are racing.
Rodney Sanders wheels to the inside of Spaulding. Erke looks to the outside as they go into turn number 1. Down the back straightaway, Sanders going to steal the lead. Now Erke looking to the inside of Spaulding. Rodney Sanders up front as they come down the front straightaway. Spaulding back up front. Here comes Jay Erke around the outside.
3 wide down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. Trouble at turn number 1. Look out.
Terry Phillips and Ryan Gustin get together. Mike Steensma goes for a wild spin with Ron Schreiner, Mike Sorensen, and Al Haina sliding in safe.
Another lap in the books, and another Dirt Knights driver gets turned around as Missouri dirt track legend Terry Phillips gets under the 19R in turn 1 and sends him spinning. Gustin will have to go to the back of the field.
So you can see both Phillips and Gustin to the back of the field. Here we go on the fly.
Green flag is out. We're back to racing action as Spaulding leads us into turn number 1.
Keep an eye on that 14 car. John Tesh working the top side, trying to get around the 74 and Noble.
Nate Wasman in the 52 also inside the top 10. The 74 of Mark Noble using that high line down the back straightaway and into turn number 3.
Look at your top 3 cars here as they come down the front straightaway. Sanders on the bottom, Spaulding up on the top, and Erke was going way up on the top side. That 14 car, John Tesh, he's got that machine cranked up. He started 14th here tonight. He's up to the 6th spot, going for 5th. Spaulding still leads Sanders in 2nd. Tesh and Dodlinger side by side in a good race for that 3rd spot, just behind the top 2. Good battle up front. Tesh going to wheel right down the middle of the racetrack. 3 abreast up front.
We started them 3 wide, and at lap 13, we're racing them 3 wide for the lead.
Rodney Sanders drives to the inside. Your 14th starter, Tesh right down the middle. Here they come, 3 wide up front.
Down the front straightaway across the line. The 17 of Spaulding still got the top spot. Sanders on the bottom and Tesh in the middle.
Great racing going on up front. Tesh to the outside of Sanders as they go into turn number 3 with Dodlinger watching the action in 4th.
Again, Tesh in the middle. The 17 of Spaulding slips up just a bit. For the first time tonight, we've got a new leader.
John Tesh from the 14th starting spot is there again, 3 wide.
They race down the back straightaway with Sanders in the middle. Sanders on the bottom, rather. Tesh in the middle, and Spaulding battling back on the high line.
Spaulding wheels it around the top side. He'll retake the lead at the start-finish line as they bolt out into turn number 1.
Bemidji, Minnesota's Mike Spaulding works his way back up to the top spot, and Tesh and Sanders settle into 2nd and 3rd.
What a race you got going on up front, Rodney Sanders, and here comes John Tesh back again on the inside.
With these guys duking it out, the 4D of Tim Dodlinger and the 96 of Jay Erke have got the best seat in the house watching it unfold in front of them.
Spaulding and John Tesh, door to door, wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Tesh and Spaulding. Tesh in the middle, Spaulding on the top.
Next week on Dirt Knights.
Spaulding not giving up. And now Sanders and Dodlinger side by side as they look to the inside of Tesh. 2 turns to go here for the 12 grand as they come out in turn number